So your solution should be looking similar to this, where we have the animated background, our actor appearing and fading in, and our car moving in from the side and kind of swerving and getting larger. Now you can actually change the starting position of that if you like to. If you go back to the beginning, maybe move it closer to the scene and change the curve to anything you like to suit your own ideas. Okay, you can see this is actually letting me manipulate a little bit more until you're happy with how it looks. So I'm happy with that. I'm sure you guys can all do much better. Which gets us on to the third part now, getting text working. So with a new layer, which we're going to name text. So we click the new layer icon, double click on our layers and call it text. We need to start this time on frame 25. So keyframe on frame 25. We could make this go out slower, so right click, insert keyframe. So it's blank until that point. Insert text saying Knight Rider, just somewhere on the frame. So we use the text icon, drag where we want the text to appear, and if I go to properties, I'll be able to see the different fonts that are available, and there are a lot of them. So sometimes picking one can take some time. I'll go for impact, and if I click on the size, you can actually drag left and right to make it larger. We can actually make it bigger or smaller as we need. So it might look as if it disappeared, but it's still there. So it's a little bit too big. So I'll get it by typing it in this time. Let's try 80, still a bit too big. Let's try 60 to fit on one line, that's fine. Now, the black font is not a great idea. So I'm going to highlight it, and the colours down the bottom here, so probably in red would stand out nicely against the dark background, and that looks fine for me. And then what you can also do is clicking on it, is go back and change it, make it larger, smaller if you need to. You can make the text box wider, which would give you more room to make it bigger or smaller. So if I highlight it, use properties, and try 80, you can see it fits. It's entirely up to you how you want to look. So if you want it on one line, it just depends the size that you start it. So next, suitable font, red colour, you can change that if you like. Now remember, with text we have to right click and break it apart twice before we can animate it. Now we've got to make sure we're using the selection tool. Make sure we right click dead on a letter, choose break apart, and right click and choose break apart again. So it's broken apart twice. Now we need to insert another keyframe at frame 42. So change to frame 42, which is roughly here. Insert a new keyframe. And then we need to change the text so it reads coming soon. So we want to delete that text from there. Want to go back to text, change to coming soon, and I'll have to get tool to drag that down, and again similar, right click, break apart, right click and break apart. Now there's actually one thing missing, and that's to right click on this and create shape tween, so I'll need to edit that. And you can see that the animation's taking care of that for us, and the fact that we don't have the part at the end will keep it all nice and neat for us to be able to read it. So we can see Knight Rider fades in to coming soon. We can actually change it so it's slightly better by having the keyframe appear earlier. So if I copy this frame, you can go back and insert the keyframe there again. Let's do that. probably the better idea would have been when we made it to not have the keyframe so far in. So instead of having the keyframe at the end, you can go back, leave a few frames at the beginning, and we can leave about 3 frames, insert a keyframe here, and it's still broken apart. We've still got Knight Rider appearing, doesn't change. Before we get to coming soon, you can see that they're all broken apart, and then have this piece where the shape tweens. And what this means is the ability to read the name of the movie first. We could have it appear for longer, and there's certainly more things that you can do to make it look good. So that will be the third part, and you should then go on and make sure yours is the same, and then try the challenges using your own files in order to create a different movie poster.